Hey guys, King here, taking you down another trip of the Yellow Brick Road. I used to do quite the amount of drugs in the old days. You hear stories today of drug abusers who will do anything for a hit of the good juice. Mind you, I've never and will never fuck with needles. I used to stick with the more homegrown remedies of sorts, the sticky, the Mary Jane, the green fire. I have no idea what you young people are calling it these days, but I'm sure there are many other names. For the remainder of this story, I'll call this miracle drug tobacco. This story goes back to my rebel days of 13. I used to hang with a pretty bad crowd back then. We used to smoke all the tobacco we can get our hands on, and I used to steal it from my parents and take it to my friend's neighborhood. Now, I used to be a dumbass and take the tobacco to school in a small baggie. I used to hide the goodness in my shoe for all its glory. The good news is that I had the tobacco. The bad news is that I had to hide the tobacco in my shoe. The worst news is that I had really stinky feet back then. Don't worry, ladies. I use cucumber melon wash now. My feet smell like a row of daisies. After school, I'd get on the bus and get dropped off with my friends. Tobacco's still in my shoe. The place we used to smoke was about a mile away at our furthest friend's house. His mom came home pretty late, so we were pretty safe to do our experimenting, as the parents used to call it. So let's speed up the story up a bit. We got through the walking and we arrived at our haven, our sanction of smoke. I took off the shoe, the green waves of smell radiating away to reveal the sweat-soaked parcel inside. Upon pulling out the baggie of tobacco, we came across a dilemma. Something we had to get around before we could feel the wondrous effects of mellowing and soul-soothing. We had nothing to wrap our little friend in. No jokers or 51s, so to speak. I suggested we eat the tobacco. Not that I know anything, but tobacco really goes great with certain baking product. Upon inspection of the bag and the tiny beads of sweat lining the plastic, that was out of the question. We figured it all out though. I know you tobacco users is like, it's tobacco, this story can't have a bad ending. We came across a stack of neon orange post-it notes. I want to emphasize the color, by the way. It was almost the same color as the vest that road workers wear. Earlier I mentioned that drug users can be desperate at times. Now, tobacco is not a desperation drug, but at the youthful, jubilant age of 13, you will do anything. And I mean anything. We wrapped that bad boy up in neon orange post-it note. Most awful taste we could ever inhale. Sweat, tobacco, post-it glue, beet, and whatever paper is made out of to do not mix. Now, I said earlier, every story involving tobacco has a happy ending. This one doesn't. The mellow and calming effects that usually are felt weren't felt. Instead, nausea came and the expelling of french fries and whatever school lunch we had consumed earlier that day. Take it from me, post-it notes are not a good medium of paper. King out. Wasn't tobacco.